Good evening, everybody, and welcome to. Right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our live stream of the 2021 Great South African Rugby Quiz. And apologies for those technical difficulties. This is still an amateur operation. Sometimes those amateur mistakes come in. Right, thank you for everybody for joining us. And tonight we are going to quickly start things off on a bit of a different note than planned. Unfortunately, in the build up to this month's quiz, we found out about the news of one of our competitors, Jonathan Thomas, JT, who unfortunately lost his battle against COVID after competing in Pool B at the end of last month. So, in honor of Jonathan Thomas, JT, we have decided with the two pools that we still have left to play that we're going to start rebranding them. So tonight, which would have been Pool C, we are going to rebrand as Pool J, and Pool D, which we are going to be playing next month, will be rebranded as Pool T. Right, so before we recap, let's quickly introduce our competitors for the evening. Firstly, we've got joining us for the evening, Davin Beryl. How's it, Davin? Have we caught you on an incorrect moment there?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to explain to my son what I'm doing. Hi, everybody. Good to be back here.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us again, Davin. Then we have Gerard Groenewald joining us. How's it, Gerard?
How's it? Lekker, Richard. Looking forward to it, man.
Awesome. And then the commander, Andre Giel. Welcome back, Andre.
How's it, gents?
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Then joining us is on our stream. Unfortunately, the camera is not working. We've got Xavier Murray joining us. And unfortunately, we had a late withdrawal, which means we are going to be playing with 4 competitors this evening. But let's quickly recap in terms of where we are with our quiz this year. So our grand finalists so far, our Pool A and Pool B winners, we've got William Solomon and Joandre Hubert. And our plate finalists so far, we've got the Brighton Miracle and Dylan Jack. So also just as a disclosure, our pool winners and runners-up have automatically qualified for our next project, which is kicking off in February 22, the Ultimate Rugby Showdown. And our pool winners and pool runner-up this evening will join them as automatic qualifiers for the Ultimate Rugby Showdown coming February 2022. Right, so before we get started with our play for the evening, we first need to go through a few basic quiz rules. Quite simple. There are 3 rules. Anybody who's watched will probably know them. So our first quiz rule, banter is encouraged. Rule number 2, if you try and Google, time will catch you out. And our final rule for the evening, have a drink in close proximity, preferably an alcoholic one. Thank you very much, Uncle Cyril. Right, yeah. So everybody ready? Let's get going into it. Round number 1, who am I? So the game is pretty simple for those watching for the first time. The objective is you need to name the player. So we're going to give you 5 clues, all related to the same player. And points are scored on a sliding scale based on the clue number. So, for instance, if you give us the correct answer on the first clue, you earn 5 points. Give us the correct answer on the fifth clue, you will earn 1 point for the section. So, also to keep in mind that any incorrect answer given will override any previous correct answers. So, if you feel at any point in time you've given an answer and you want to change your answer, think wisely about that. Right, so is everybody ready? Let's get going with our first round. So, clue number 1. As a South African coach, I gained my first international experience by coaching the Russian under 19 and 17, guiding them to the 2001 Sevens World Cup. You can see the stress already building there. Right, get ready for our next clue. Clue number 2. After being offered the head coaching position of the Russian national team following my 2001 exploits, I declined the offer in order to return home and coach Waterkloof High School.
Richard, waar gaan ek om hierdie te antwoord, man? Fuck. Dis die antwoordboks pop jy op.
Hy moet daar opgaan, hy's oop. So kyk dit gou onder, hy sal sê clue nommer 2, dan sal hy oppop as jy afgaan op jou dialoog.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Can you hear the silence? The silence means we have got tension building up.
Silence is killing any banter at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Clue number 3. Following my successes as coach of Waterkloof High School, I was made head coach of the Blue Bulls Cravenweek side in 2002, 2003, and then following again in 2007 and 2008.
Oh, shucks, a bit of answer, hey?
Well, only if you feel you've got an answer. Remember, any incorrect answer overrides a correct answer. Right, clue number 4. I got my big break when I was made head coach of the Pumas in 2008.
Poker face.
Giving everybody a run around there in the corner.
Yeah.
Acting as if he doesn't know it, but he's probably given the correct answer on clue 1 already, being clued up on the exploits of Russian Sevens rugby.
Oh, my favorite.
Richard, I wonder if that's where he got all his vitamin S from the Russians.
Well, we can ask him. Right. So, with Andre giving that type of clue away there, clue number 5. I left the Pumas in 2015 to become head coach of Toshiba Brave Lupus. However, I returned to the Pumas in 2018 after my stint in Japan. Got a few nervous guys and a few confident guys. And of course, we've got Xavier with no camera, who's bluffing all of us this evening. Right, so 15 seconds to submit the answers before we go through to the answers themselves. Right, everybody ready? Let's get cracking. So, as South African coach, I gained my first international experience by coaching the Russian under-19 and sevens team, guiding them to the 2001 Sevens World Cup. We had nobody giving us an answer on clue number 1. Clue number 2. After being offered the head coaching role, we had Andre giving us with Jimmy Stonehouse and Gerard with Nas Botha.
Too many beers.
Then, following my successes as coach of Waterkloof High School, I was made head coach of the Blue Bulls Craven Week side in the following years. No answers given there. Then, I got my big break when I was made head coach of the Pumas in 2008. We've got Xavier giving us 2 there, giving us Jimmy Stonehouse, Davin giving us Jimmy Stonehouse. And then I left the Pumas in 2015 to become head coach of the Toshiba Brave Lupus. No answers there. So, revealing who we are discussing this evening, it is in fact Jimmy Stonehouse. Right, so let's quickly recap where we are standing after round number 1. We've got Andre taking the lead on 4. We've got Davin and Xavier following up on 2. And then we have Gerard who's trying to still get off the mark after round number 1. I'm sure it's going to happen in the next question. Right, so let's quickly reveal our scores. And there we go. Our scoreboard's going. Right, let's move on to round number 2, which is We Are the Champions. So, for those who haven't played it yet or haven't seen it yet, how this will work is this section contains a cup or championship winning team. So, the objective here is to complete the starting lineup. You're going to be provided with the name of the team, names of the starting lineup. You need to complete the blanks and tell us who the players are.
Go, Mana.
Right.
Let's go.
So, our team to complete this evening, keeping it in line with what the build-up for the week, is the 2009 Lions Series champions. So we want the second test team against the Lions in 2009. Everybody ready? Let's get going. So, our front row, we've got Beast as our loose head, Bismarck as our hooker, who was our tight head for the day.
Mensen.
Fuck it.
Right. So, we've got our loose trio for the day. We've got Schalk Burger at 6, Pierce Peace at 8, who was number 7.
Yo. You know, you think you know, and then...
Right. Next up, we have our halfback pairing for that game. Who partnered for Rita Priya in the halfback section on that day?
Oh.
Right. Then we have our center pairing.
Oh, Mensa. Listen, I'm going to be honest. The Springbok side still gives me nightmares the way they used to play. If I had to play against the Springbok side, yo.
It was a good team.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's quickly finalize our back three. We've got Brian Abana and JP Peterson on the wing. Who was their fullback?
I still think this side would beat some sides, some international sides playing today. That's how good this team was.
Ek kan nie dit onthou nie. O, daarna.
Here we go.
Right. Gents, submit the answers. We've got 15 seconds to submit on the app. Right, and our answers are coming up. Right, so firstly we had our front row. We had Beast, Bismarck, and we've got
Fuck.
John Smith, Yanni Duplessis, and Xavier is missing. Xavier, are you still there? Sorry, I just want to quickly get to Xavier. Xavier has crashed, unfortunately, he says. So I'll quickly recap Xavier. If your scores, we can do a recap later on to see if we can pick something up there. Our correct answer there being John Smith. So that means Andre and Davin has scored in that round. Right. Next up, we have Skalkberger, Pierce Space, and we have Andre with Dani Rousseau, Davin with Joan Smith, Gerard with Joan Smith. The correct answer there being Joan Smith.
Dani Rousseau went out in the first game.
Yes.
Concussed. Yeah.
I don't think you can concuss someone like him. That's his normal state of being, right?
Right, let's quickly touch base. Oh, there we go. We've got Xavier who's just come in there. So Xavier giving us Joan Smith there. And let's see on question number 1. Xavier also is coming through there on John Smith. Right, so we are all back on the... everybody's back in action again. So let's give us question number 3. Sorry, I just want to check. Yes. Question number 3, we had Ruan Pienaar, Morne Steyn, and Ruan Pienaar. Scoring in that round is in fact Ruan Pienaar, who played fly off. Yes, we all remember Morne Steyn kicking the winning kick, but he was actually the sub on the day. Our centre pairing, we've got John de Villiers and his centre pair for that day. We've got Andre giving us Adrian Jacobs, Davin giving us Adrian Jacobs, Xavier giving us Adrian Jacobs. The correct answer there, Adrian Jacobs.
Gerard, wat gaan aan?
Living in the highlight reels, right?
Right team, wrong year, man.
Yeah.
Well, right scorers, if you think about it, the key players being Jacques Fourie.
It's all the subs. You got the subs.
All the subs that came up.
It's all the highlights, right? I mean,
remember the try.
The kick at the end.
Correct.
Then we have our fullback.
Okay.
We've got Andre giving us Frans Steyn, Davin giving us Francois Steyn, Xavier giving us Frans Steyn, Gerard with Willie Leroux. Correct answer there, Francois Steyn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right, so let's quickly recap. So we've got a points that came through as well for Gerard on the on his Who Am I that came through late on my side here. So let's recap. We still got Andre leading the pack on 8. We've got Davin and Xavier in quite a tussle over here on 7 points each, and Gerard on 3, needing to play some catch up here. let's move on to round number 3, our Springbok Showdown. So, for those that hasn't played it yet, how this works, it's based on the only action the Springboks were allowed in 2020, which was to face each other. Now, that rare event led to the question, how well do the players of the past stack up against each other in the stats department? So, how our showdown will work. You will be provided with 3 players from the same era. We will give you a stat will be asked about them, and you need to tell us who won that specific stat between the 3 players. If everybody's ready, let's get going. So, our showdown number 1. Who won the most test caps between Gerard Mostert, Jacques Potgieter, and Arno Botha?
Shit.
Oh, rough.
Okay. Thanks, Richard.
Right. Everybody get ready. Our next showdown is coming up. Who scored the most test tries between Juan de Jong, Bjorn Besson, and Elton Jantjies?
Oh,
Yeah.
this one I do not know.
Right, everybody get ready. We've got our next showdown coming up. Who played the most Sevens World Series tournaments between Kurtley Arendse, Angelo Davids, and Zane Davids?
Oh. Yes.
Right, let's get ready. Showdown number 4 coming up. Who made their test debut first between Makazole Mapimpi, Sabu Nkosi, and Afiwe Djanti?
No.
Is there extra points for getting it, spelling it right the first time?
Right. Who scored the most test drop goals between Morne Steyn, Jannie de Beer, and Os Botha?
Fuck it.
Drop goals. Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Trick question.
Yeah.
Richard, that's the last one, right? So the tick, we should select the tick after.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so you should select the tick when you're done, yeah.
So
taking
bonus
it-
points for completing the question. So what's this?
Right. Everybody, we've got 15 seconds to click those right ticks.
Yes. Oh,
Andres going.
Oh.
It's not going that rough with you. It's going that rough with you. The 3 points are right at the end.
no, the
Right.
worst thing is I actually gave Richard this idea for this topic.
Oh no.
Yes.
Right. So, who won the most test caps between Gerard Mostert, Jacques Potgieter, and Arno Botha? So, we've got Andre giving us Jacques Potgieter. Gerard was Gerard. David with Jacques Potgieter. Xavier with Jacques Potgieter. The correct answer there. 3 test caps, plays 2.
Okay.
Jacques Potgieter.
Yes.
I thought it was 2 plays 1 plays 1.
I actually thought Arno Botha had 1 test.
No, so remember,
how many years he played? He got carried off in his first one, I think.
no, Arno Botha finished his first test against Italy, and then the second test against Scotland, he got replaced by Siya Kolisi in like
He made his debut,
in the first few
Bob
minutes.
First few minutes, it was like minute
Yeah.
2, minute 3, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, showdown number 2 scored the most test tries between Joan de Jong, Bjorn Bosson, and Elton Jantjies. We've got Andre giving us Joan de Jong. We've got Gerard and Davin with Elton Jantjies, and Xavier with Bjorn Bosson. This could go either way. Correct answer there.
Change my
well
answer.
Joan de Jong.
Change my
Well done, Andre.
No.
Oh,
Right, showdown number 3.
don't change on.
Who played the most Sevens World Series tournaments
Yeah.
between Kurtley Arendse, Angelo Davids, and Zane Davids? We've got everybody giving us Zane Davids there, and everybody scoring there
Yes.
with Zane Davids.
I don't watch gimmick rugby, so I'm happy that I got this by accident.
But if you watched the previous editions, you would have seen there's always a sevens blitzball question thrown in. Showdown number 4. Who made their test debut first between Makazole Mapimpi, Sabu Nkosi, and Afiwe Dianti? So we've got Andre giving us Mapimpi, Gerard giving us Dianti, Davin giving us Dianti, and Xavier giving us Sabu Nkosi. So, to quickly recap here, we had 2 weeks apart with this. So, the first test against England in 2018, 2 of the gents made their debut, but the week before that against Wales, 1 of the other gents made his debut. That other gent, Makazole Mapimpi.
Yo, well done.
Against Wales.
Against Wales in at DC.
Yeah.
Right.
Well done.
So, showdown number 5. Who scored the most test drop goals between Morne Steyn, Jannie de Beer, and Naas Botha? So, Andre is giving us Naas there, Gerard giving us Jannie de Beer, and Xavier giving us Jannie de Beer, and Davin giving us Naas Botha there. The correct answer there, still standing till this day, Naas Botha.
Oh, yes, fucking nice. Come on.
Devin, are you and I showing our age?
Probably.
Well, what was the other question today, or the statement today? If you know the difference between Gavin Lawless and Gavin Johnson, you can go and have your COVID jab.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Andre's classic, and we followed it up with, if you can remember Cabos van der Westhuizen having hair, you're old enough for your COVID jab.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember.
So let's quickly recap our scores. So Gerard on 4, Xavier on 9, Davin edging ahead of Xavier in that round on 10, but our leader on 13 at the moment is Andre.
On fire.
Right.
No, Papa, it's coming. It's coming. The crash is coming.
Well, don't jinx yourself. And let's quickly get going to our round number 4, which is our prop quiz. Now, this section will focus on general knowledge of our chosen theme, which will all be general knowledge-based questions. So far, the themes we've had has been the Rugby Africa Cup and Ross Geldenhuys. Our theme for this evening is the Barbarians. Oh, now we can see some few heavy breathing and nervous faces coming in there. Right. Is everybody ready? Let's get into it. Question number 1. The Barbarians team was formed in 1890 and played their first ever fixture on 27 December 1890. Who was their first opposition?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it.
I'll give a bit of a hint there. The club is still active till today.
So it's a club now, in fact, in any case.
Question number 2. Which legendary Irish winger made a record 30 appearances for the Barbarians? Considering that they play 2-3 games maximum a year at the moment.
What?
Yo.
Irish winger.
Irish winger.
I can't. Apologies for the spelling.
No idea.
Yeah.
Easy. Come on, easy.
Right, question number 3. The final challenge game came about after the home unions requested them to face which touring nation in 1948 in order for that side to raise funds and return home. So this is a test nation.
This is a proper Wikipedia.
Sure.
Flip en sit op die kakhuis en lees 'n bietjie wiki.
Random rugby facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 4. The final challenge match has been known by which name since 2011?
Ooh.
Devin, you're looking a bit nervous in the corner there.
Total blank. Absolute blank on everything. That's my blank list.
Question number 5. Name the Barbarian spin-off team.
Shit, even my dan nou. Ek het fokol ingetik vir vraag 4 nie, nou het hy net iets gegee nie.
Tik maar net in blank of sê gee maar sommer 'n spoof ding by 4 en dan kan jy nommer 5 gee.
Ek moet kyk want ek gaan nou net 'n ander antwoord sommer net gee of net iets intik
Okay.
want dat het
Nee, dis reg. Dis 100%. Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Ja, nee.
Okay. Jy reg daar, Gerard?
Ja, skus, ja, dis okay, ek seker van ek sou nie daai geweet nie.
Okay, maar jy klaar gesubmit.
Ja, ek het deur dit geraan, ja.
This is one
Okay.
of the,
Ja, sorry Andre.
now this is one of those that flippin' can ankle tap you there in the corner just before you think you're about to score a try in the final of the Rugby World Cup against the Springboks.
Oh, you mean a little Donnie Rousseau Mark Waito action there?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay. Okay, Gerard, Chris, your things aren't showing yet?
Ek dink nie uit vir my.
I just remember the one answer, but it's too late.
Just Richard, ek is doodseker van ek het nie een van hulle reg in elk geval hier so.
Okay. Ons kyk gou uitsorteer.
Sommer net nommers ingetik.
Okay. Right. So, who was the first opposition that played against the Barbarians? There's Gerard, hy het nommer 1 ingetik. The correct answer there, Altpool Rovers, which is still active till today as a non-league club at the moment in England. So they were the first opposition and played an annual fixture against the Barbarians. Okay, then we have which legendary Irish winger made a record 30 appearances for the Barbarians. So we've got Andre with Simon Geegan. We've got an O'Reilly there by Xavier. Davin giving us Australia.
I typed the wrong answer.
Anyway. Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then Gerard giving us the number 2. The correct answer there. We have a winner in this round with Xavier, as it was Tony O'Reilly.
Well done.
Well played.
Nice, Xavier. Right. Then we have the final challenge game came about after the home unions requested them to face which touring nation in 1948 in order for them to raise funds to return home. We've got Andre with New Zealand. We've got Xavier with Australia. Davin with Australia. And Gerard with 3. Correct answer there.
I actually also had Australia, just didn't take it.
Put it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be one of these two.
Right. So we have the final challenge match has been known by which name since 2011? We've got Andre with the Something Cup. We've got a no clue and a blank and a 4. The correct answer there, the Killick Cup.
Jeez.
Nope.
So if you had to go and Google the Killick Cup, you will see that there's a fixture. The Killick Cup this year will take place between Barbarians and Samoa.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And then we have our last one, which named the Barbarians spin-off team. So unfortunately, we have no correct answers there, as this is in fact, with the red jerseys, the New Zealand Barbarians.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Right. So our prop quiz, which ends up to be a stumper, let's quickly sorry guys. Let's quickly recap our scores. We have Andre still leading the pack on 13. We've got Davin and Xavier making a bit of a dent in on 11 each, and Gerard on 4. Right, so everybody ready? Let's get ready for our next round. So, round number 5, a round we're specially playing for this evening called Huge Hunters. So,
Is that the betting type? So
section
we
we
can do
got-
it now. So.
we're going to focus on those guys that are experts in dropping the ball. So this section we will cover one of the methods of scoring that has been mastered by a elite few, the drop goal. And can you answer some of these questions relating to the finer art of the drop? Everybody ready? Let's get going. Question number 1. Who has scored the most drop goals in Test match rugby?
Damn it. Easy stuff. Easy stuff.
Easy, man.
Easy, man.
Question number 2. Name the only South African forward to have scored a drop goal in a Super Rugby match. If you're old enough to remember that, you can go and take a jab.
Give us a yum.
Is that a bit of a Richard? Is that a bit of a
Yeah.
trick question?
Not at all. Question number 3. Who was the last player to score 3 or more drop goals in a Rugby World Cup match? So only an elite few has done it. Who's been the last player to do it?
One guy.
Yeah, yes. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Okay, next question coming up. So question number 4. Nas Botha holds the record for the most drop goals in a Currie Cup match against Natal or the Sharks in 1992. How many did he score in that match? Again, anybody who was at the stadium on that day, you can probably go for a jab.
And remember that was a post because of the previous year. Oh no, I'm a year ahead.
Okay. Question number 5. The longest successful drop goal in Test match rugby was 77.7 meters scored by a Springbok at Twickenham. Who scored the drop goal? And please note the disclaimer in the corner.
I saw that. Richard, I'm just giving the surname there. I can't remember his first name.
Okay. Right, everybody ready? Okay, everybody locked and loaded. Let's get into it. Right, so question number 1. Who scored the most drop goals in Test match rugby? We've got Andre with Johnny Wilkinson, Davin with Johnny Wilkinson, Gerard with Johnny Wilkinson, and Xavier with, of course, we know Johnny Wilkinson, but he's gone and said Johnny England. Must be Johnny. And the correct answer there being Johnny Wilkinson. Question number 2. Name the only South African forward to have scored a drop goal in a Super Rugby match. So we got Andre giving us Ollie Leroux, Davin with Bob Skinstad, Gerard with Bob Skinstad, and Xavier with Bob Skinstad. The correct answer there,
Bobby. I remember
Skinstad.
it now. But you see, Ollie Leroux got a conversion and it was a drop kick.
Yeah, but this is a drop goal in the match itself.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out because nobody wanted the ticket. He ran up, picked it up,
and took a conversion. But so technically that's a conversion still. But anyway, let's quickly move on. The last player to score 3 or more drop goals in a Rugby World Cup match. We've got Andre with Johnny Wilkinson, Davin with Jannie de Beer, Gerard with Morne Steyn, and Xavier with Johnny Wilkinson. Unfortunately, it seems everybody forgets about him. We've got Tian Skotse for Namibia against Fiji in 2011.
What?
Yeah, 3 goals in the first half. At one point, they were leading Fiji by 9 points to 7 based on his drop goals. They ended up losing, of course, but that's still a small little record that stands for the day.
The last player. Which World Cup was that?
2011.
11. Okay.
Yes. Okay, Nels Botha holds the record for the most drop goals in a Currie Cup match. We've got Andre with 5, Davin with 5, Gerard with 5, and Xavier with 5. The correct answer being 5 drop goals. Then we have the longest successful drop goal in Test match rugby was 77.7 meters, scored by a Springbok against England at Twickenham, who scored the drop goal. So Andre giving us Brandt, Davin with Uris Edwards, Gerard with Frans Steyn, and a Hamilton down there. The correct answer there is, in fact, Gerald Brandt.
Wow. Well done, Andre.
Yes.
When was that? Sure, 77 meters.
That was 1932, and it still stands. It's till today. Yeah, you're laughing, but till today, it's still the longest recorded drop goal in Test match rugby history. Nobody else has been able, and that was recorded on the day. So it's still a record that stands still today.
I don't think it's going to be broken anytime soon. It's fucking ridiculous.
If you go and Google longest drop kick in Test match rugby, it comes up.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So let's quickly recap where we are currently. So we've got Xavier is actually correct. Let's quickly see. Xavier is coming up with a good point there. Let's just double check that. Sorry, Sorry, guys. We're just quickly seeing if we can give Xavier that point for that as his answer. Xavier, yes, we can give you that point, having that correct there. So Gerald Hamilton Brandt, I'll give you that there. So that means before we move on to our final open round, let's quickly check our points. So we've got Andre leading on 16, Xavier 15, Davin on 14, and Gerard on 7. So this means everything's still to play for in this last round coming up. Our last round for the evening, for the open play, before we move on to our playoffs, is 7 minutes in heaven. Oh. So as the name suggests, we are covering sevens rugby.
Nah.
So, seen as a festival event for most rugby fans, it's provided a pathway for the top echelons for a number of players. So it's gone from a festival event all the way to the Olympics. Would have been fitting if the Blitzbox had did it yesterday, but here we are. Everybody ready? Let's get playing. So question number 1. New Zealand holds the record for the most World 7 Series titles. How many have they won?
Including the 2021 that was shortened. That's
including that one. I've included that there.
Really?
Okay.
Guessing anyway.
So they were given that title. So yes, we've included that. Okay, next question coming up. Who wore me? Can you tell us who wore that jersey in a 7 series for a whole season? Right, next question coming up. Which of these sides has never won a 7th World Series Cup final? Wales, Canada, or USA?
Making myself doubt myself here. Fuck, I hate 7s.
Andre, don't worry about it. Tomorrow morning you can watch some women's 7s. That's going to please you a lot.
Question number 4. Who wore me? Okay, question number 5. In which city was the 2001 Rugby World Cup 7s held?
Yo. Grabbing at straws here.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody submit the answers. Everybody ready? Let's get cracking.
That's right.
Right. So, New Zealand hold the record for the most 7th World Series titles. How many have they won? Andre giving us 11, Davin giving us 13, Gerard with 12, Xavier with 13. Correct answer there, 13 titles. Right. Question number 2. Who wore me? So we've got a black and pink strip. We've got Andre with Canada, Davin with Argentina, Gerard with Canada, and Xavier with Wales. The correct answer there, gents. Let that soak in for a minute there.
Jeez, well done.
Nice one there, Davin.
Super Rugby jersey like that. That's what made me go with it.
Oh, is it? Something similar with that. But this was
a couple of Super Rugby games. It's the only reason I went with it.
Oh, is it? Yeah, no, this was a kit for a whole season that they wore with black and pink. They tried a few different things in the 7s at one point in time. So, question number 3. Which of these sides has never won a 7th World Series Cup final? We've got Wales, Canada, and USA. So we've got Andre giving us Wales, Davin giving us Wales, Gerard with Wales, and Xavier with Wales. The correct answer there, full house of scorers, as it was in fact Wales, which has won a 7th World Cup, but they've never won a World Series event.
No, that's the craziest thing.
Yes. Whereas Canada,
That.
Yeah, where Canada got the 2017 Singapore Sevens title, and USA having won multiple cup titles at this stage already.
Was it the 2009 World Cup Sevens? I think that they won.
That they won. Yeah, no, that's the one they won. So question number 4, who will me? So we've got Andre giving us France. We've got Davin with USA, Gerard with USA, and Xavier with France. The correct answer there, the French jersey from the 2016 Olympics.
Well done, guys.
Jeez, well done.
Yeah. Right. Then, in which city was the 2001 World Cup Sevens held? So we got Andre giving us Dubai, Davin with Hong Kong, Gerard with Mar del Plata, and Xavier with Mar del Plata. The correct answer there, Mar del Plata in Argentina.
There we go.
Got a few smart boys in here.
That's
right. So at the end of the round, let's quickly see where we are standing at the moment. We have Xavier taking the lead on 19. Andre following up with 18. Sorry, Andre on 18. Then we have Devin on 17 and Gerard on 9. So what this means, gents, is for Devin and Gerard, it's not the end of the road in terms of this year's quiz. You will be featured. We will see you again for the wildcard final. Whereas for Andre and Xavier, you are moving on to the playoffs for the evening. So, Devin and Gerard, thank you so much. We will see you guys in the first week of September for the wildcard final, where we're going to have another 10 people playing off for the last spot.
Lekker. Thanks for the effort, Richard. Awesome.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks, guys. Well done.
Lekker, man.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, Richard, you and me.
Right. Perfect. So we still have Xavier in the background. And Andre, well done, guys. Let's get going into the finals. So going into the final, we've got Xavier with a 1-point lead. If we quickly just update our scores, with Andre on 18. So well done, guys. This also means that both of you have qualified for the Ultimate Rugby Showdown in February 2022. We will see you then, and you'll be invited onto the Showdown group after this. But let's get playing with the playoffs. So this is going to be your last do or die round. We're going to give you 10 rugby questions across all spheres of the game. As a speed round, you're going to have 20 seconds per question. Everybody ready? Let's go. Okay, question number 1. Who won a Currie Cup final as a player, coach, and manager? 3 different finals, each in a different role. Question number 2. Name the current holders of the Texas Cup. Question number 3. Name the home team.
No idea.
Question number 4. Name the only team to win a Super Rugby title as a wildcard qualifier. Question number 5. Name the national team.
Yeah, Papa. This is going to be horrendous.
Okay, question number 6. Who was the top point scorer for the Lions during their 2017 New Zealand tour? Okay, question number 7. School of Rugby. Where did he matriculate from? Evan Roos. Question number 8. Name the trophy. Question number 9. Which team is currently ranked number 1 in the World Rugby Women's Rankings?
Yes, it's going to come button.
Question number 10. Name the player.
Oh.
Right, Jed, submit your answers.
Damn it.
And our answers to follow.
2 out of 10.
So, let's see. Who has won a Currie Cup final as a player, coach, and manager? That's 3 different finals, each in a different role. Andre giving us Dick Weir, Xavier with Victor Matfield. The correct answer there?
Naka
Drotsky. Right. Moving on. So, who named the current holders of the Texas Cup? So, Andre giving us Austin there, and Xavier with a skip. Andre getting the point there for Austin, as the Gilgronis are the current holders of the Texas Cup. Right, so this means currently we've got Andre on 19 and Xavier on 19 for this round. Right, let's name the home team. So we've got Andre giving us the Crusaders and Xavier giving us Australia. The correct answer there, that's in fact the Crusaders. So that means we've got Andre taking a slender lead there by 20-19 over Xavier. Right, our next question. Name the only team to win a Super Rugby title as a wildcard qualifier. Andre giving us Crusaders and Xavier with Highlanders. Xavier tying it up in this round, as it was the Highlanders in 2015 who won from a wildcard position. So we've got Xavier on 20 and Andre on 20 currently. So this is building up the suspense as we go into our question number 5. Name the national team. So we've got Andre with a Chile and Xavier with a skip. The correct answer there, gents, that's Uganda, the Cranes. Question number 6. Who was the top point scorer for the Lions during their 2020 New Zealand tour? We've got Andre giving us Owen Farrell and Xavier giving us Owen Farrell. We are all tied back up. It's Owen Farrell.
Who's owner?
Owner Farrell.
Yeah, who's that?
Xavier, you're going to tell us in the chat who's that? He says he can't type. Well, let's leave it there. I mean, we all can make it out who that one is. Right. Then we have our School of Rugby. Where did Evan Roos matriculate from? We've got Andre with Paul Roos. Xavier giving us Paul Boys High. The correct answer there, Ball Boys High. So that means we've got Xavier edging ahead by 22 to 21. Next up, we've got name the trophy. We've got Andre with the Rand Furley Shield. Xavier says he's got no clue there. That's in fact the Rand Furley Shield, which means we are all tied back up. We've got Xavier on 22, Andre on 22. 2 questions remaining, gents. Which team is currently ranked first in the World Rugby Women's rankings? We've got Andre with England. Xavier struggling with his typo again, probably being NZ, as he said in the comment section here, New Zealand, damn it. That is, in fact, England leading the Women's World Rankings, which means we've got heading into the last question. Andre has taken a 23 to 22 lead. This means the last question, Xavier needs to get that correct in order to take this to sudden death. We've got name the player. Andre giving us Shabal. Xavier with a bully there. The correct answer there, and sealing it for the evening, Sebastian Shabal. That means if we quickly finalize our tally for the evening, we have Xavier ending on 22, Andre on 24, which means, Andre, well done. You have just made the grand final in October. Xavier, this means you moving on to the plate final, where you're going to be joining the Brighton Miracle and Dylan Jack in order to play for that last final spot with 2 yet to name competitors. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen, and thank you for playing. We will see you next month with Pool T. We will get our last grand finalist or our next grand finalist and plate finalist. Thank you so much for your time, gents. Have a good evening.
Cheers. Thank you.